Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another live stream here this evening. Well, we've got an update from me. That was earlier. How much did Miami pay to get in? No, I mean, look, it's they value the head-to-head when the teams are ranked next to each other, I guess. That's mainly what it is. Watch James Madison win it all. Zero chance. Zero chance James Madison even keeps it within 15 of Oregon. That's Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the A&M Miami game is at 11 a.m. Central. That's really bad. That really should be the night game. Oh, this dude, the dude from Uniswap. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you, man. I don't have text to speech on right now, so looks like your comment didn't work out well. How did we sell that? What, the Indiana game? It's unfortunate. I mean, does it really mean a lot? I don't think it means a ton, honestly. Losing to Indiana, they still have a bye. Turn on text to speech, bro. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd have to go into Streamlabs. You think Alabama would beat Indiana? I don't. I mean, it would be interesting because Bama's more talented for sure, but I don't think they would. No sexy lady text speech tonight. Well, there hasn't been text to speech in like 5 or 6 streams, I think. Do you agree putting Miami over Notre Dame is horrific? Yeah, I would have put Notre Dame in. The reason the head to head doesn't mean as much to me is because it happened in week one. If it was like week seven, I would put Miami in. The fact that the game was in week one, I think you have to take that into consideration. It's $5 text to speech. No, it's not on right now. But you are right, it actually is $5 text to speech when it was on. Did you see Trump talk about Canada? No, I haven't seen what Trump's been saying today or the past few days. I don't think Oklahoma would beat Indiana either. Yeah, I don't know if Oklahoma can beat Alabama again. That would be 3 times in 2 years. 3 times in 2 years, that's challenging. You think it's going to be Oregon versus Ohio? I saw like a TV personality predict that, and then they predicted Oregon beating Ohio State. What happened yesterday? Wi-Fi busted. Yeah, the Wi-Fi went out really early in the stream, and then I just said, fuck it." I was like, whoops, whatever. That would have been a tough game for me to watch on stream. What's your opinion on why Notre Dame is not going to a bowl? Because they're fucking pissed off, and the bowl games are meaningless. That's the reason they're not going to one, and they know they're gonna have opt outs, so they're probably gonna lose to BYU, and they'd rather not. Crowder wants Elon on his show to discuss why Nick Fuentes is a Fed. Well, Elon's been saying that a few times. Yeah, I don't know what information Elon has, but apparently Nick Fuentes ratioed him, and then he hid the reply, and then Elon just hid the reply. What if Elon just blocked him? Did you like the Mendoza speech? It was awkward. I mean, I thought it was pretty funny though. It was a passionate speech for sure. Thank you for the donation. APAC paid me to turn off text to speech. You think APAC paid me? Maybe APAC, maybe Qatar. Maybe APAC or Qatar. Is it Qatar or Qatar? Mendoza has MAGA energy. Mendoza has, let me correct you, Mendoza has evangelical energy. Mendoza is a born again evangelical. You can tell by the mannerisms. It's Cutter. Remember when? Well, Trump was just like, actually, they told me to say it's Cutter, so that's why I pronounce it as Cutter. But then I started pronouncing it Qatar because everyone else was. Lost the Candace Owens lost the plot, dude. That video. I mean, it's just like that woman is insane. That woman is view hungry. How did Ohio State lose if they had way more talent? Because that's only part of football. It's only part of what you got to execute. You got they got outcoached. They got outcoached in a big way. They got really conservative. You got to go for it on 4th and 1. If you're down 13-10, I don't care. If you can't get a yard, then that's you got bigger issues. And then they bring in Fielding. Fielding is a terrible kicker, honestly. He can't even make like a 10-yard field goal. I'm not even kidding. Like he barely makes like 25 yarders. And so they brought him on for like a 27-yarder and he just shanked it horribly. Yeah, the Browns lost too. I saw that. The Browns had a rough. I mean, Shador Sanders actually looked pretty good. It's actually good they lost for the draft purposes. Are you surprised Indiana won? Maybe a little bit. I mean, it was only a 4 point spread, so I don't. You can't really be too surprised. If it was like a 10 point spread, but if it's a 4 point spread, I'm not too surprised. Is Qatar where they use models at porta potties? Qatar is the nation that pays everyone to hate on Israel. I'm just kidding. Not really. Now, Qatar is definitely involved, but it's become a feud against Israel politically for propaganda. Are you going to check what Trump said today? Yeah, I'll probably take a look at it in a little bit. Did he say anything interesting? Well, he probably always does, but I think I have like a plantar fasciitis or something. My foot hurts. When I wake up in the morning, my foot hurts. It's like been sore, and then it stops hurting. I might have to go to like a hot tub or something. Like I have plantar fasciitis. I don't even know how I get this shit. Tucker had the interview with the Qatar president. Yeah, I saw that. They need to get rid of auto bids for college football playoff. Yeah, I think they just need to do away with them. But then what do you do with the group of five? By aging? I don't know if it's aging, but invite you into the hot tub, no Diddy. I mean, dude, you do when you join the stream rarely. When you do, I give you credit. Is you just it's just donations. Milo said he is a yeah. I mean, Milo's just been saying I think whatever to try and make headlines. I think he's obsessed with headlines. He's obsessed with being talked about. He seems like he's kind of been released, and now he's doing all these talk shows. Purchase some comfy cushions on your shoes. I don't know if that's the issue, honestly. It's just when I wake up. No one had Indiana beating both Ohio and Oregon at the start of the season. Well, I mean, that things happen in the season. It's just unpredictable stuff is always going to happen. Look up a few stretches to do. That's probably all you need to do. Yeah, I've really only started trying to do stuff today. They told me to rotate my foot in motion, put my foot in motion, or like circle my foot. Dude, the Somalia stuff is just constant. I mean, Trump, I think, banned Somalians. He banned immigrants, Somalian immigrants. I don't see, but now there's all this feud about Somalians, and we don't want the immigrants. We don't want the immigrants. Why is there all this dialogue? Yeah, I'm doing a bracket tomorrow. I'll fill it out. I don't even know who I'm gonna pick, but I'll be doing a bracket tomorrow. So Milo accuses Benny Johnson and Charlie Kirk of being closeted. He accused him of being gay. Propa, thank you for that. I don't feel bad for these teams on the cusp who get left out. It used to be 2 and 4 teams only. No conference means win your meaningful games. Well, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think the difference is we're comparing the teams against each other. So, the criteria is going to. You're right. The how good a team. If you let in more teams into the playoff, the quality of teams is going to get worse. But I think it's more so the argument like Notre Dame against Miami. People think, well, Notre Dame is better than Miami, and that's why they should be in. It's only going to get worse if you like high quality because they're probably expanding to 16 teams. We should have AI determined playoffs. Well, that was what the BCS formula was. I wonder what the BCS formula has because they normally do release that. They say this is what the BCS model would have. Dude, we're just trying to keep. We've got enough immigrants in the country. We've got enough illegals in the country. We're trying to get them out. What is the issue with the Somalian stuff? I guess maybe it's just social media, but it's like social media. I swear, will just like fixate on something for a week, and then it'll fixate on another thing for a week, and it just keeps moving. It's just like it feels so fake. Who are your early Super Bowl winner picks if you had one? I have no clue. The Super Bowl is really hard to pick this year. If you were president, there would be 200 million deportations and a complete stop to all forms of immigration, temporary visas only. After 90 days, you leave or you're getting deported. Yeah, but implementing that is a challenge. That's going to be challenged by courts. I mean, Trump tries to deport these people and it gets challenged all the time. They want to make it as hard as possible for Trump to be able to deport them. I mean, you can say what you think you're going to do, but, there's a separation of powers. Honestly, I do think it is wide open, the MVP. Josh Allen could actually come back and win it just because there's no one. Maybe Drake May. Do you think Bama will beat OU in the first round? Also, do you think Lane Kiffin will turn LSU into powers? Yeah, I think Lane Kiffin will do it. We're good at LSU. He's a flake, Lane Kiffin. It's hard to really trust him, but I think Lane Kiffin should do pretty well. And the other thing, I'm actually leaning towards picking Bama to beat OU, even though they're on the road. It's to me, it's very low scoring. OU needed a lot to go right to beat Alabama, and they were on the road, so but still. You you deliver FedEx and went to a warehouse the other day for pickup. Guy spoke no English at the. Well, dude, I actually did FedEx for like 3 days. I helped deliver packages when I was like 17 for about 3 days. I think they probably still do that. They have package helpers during the holidays. Your girl is going to LSU. Are you cooked? You're beyond cooked. Your girl's going, dude. Your girl's going to Arizona State. You're deep fried, bruh. Bruh, don't even try it. I'm gonna do a long distance. My girlfriend, I have to say, my girlfriend's going to Arizona State, so it's gonna be a long distance relationship. I feel good. I think it's strong. I think it's gonna last. Chiefs or Texans? Hmm. Probably Chiefs if they're at home. It's like how people pronounce Iran. It's actually called Iran. It's called Iran. I thought it was. I think people say Iran or Iran. Tim Waltz scandal is wild. Yeah, you want to know something about that? There is some actual serious fraud going on there. Like, even Tim Waltz has to admit they have a lot of bad, rampant fraud. You know, Jake Tapper had Ilhan Omar on, and he's just like, well, how did the fraud get so bad? And then she just makes, has a bullshit answer. But no, I don't mew. I don't do any of the looks maxing stuff. That's for the jawline. Do you think Ole Miss will get revenge on Georgia? Hmm. No, I don't. I think Ole Miss will lose. I think Georgia got the best draw out of any team. Georgia got a great. Well, so did Oregon, but then Georgia and Oregon. Well, I mean, Oregon has to face Texas Tech, I guess. Thoughts on Rupert Lowe with Tucker Carlson? I don't know about that situation, honestly. You follow any red pill dating influencers? Not really. I mean, I listen to some of the stuff they say about women, but I don't really follow any of them to a high level. I feel like that type of stuff is kind of peaked already in the conversation. You see the latest layoff reports? No, I haven't. Yeah, I saw Russia is looking at adding in a lot of Indian labor as well. That'll be interesting to see how that turns out for them. I'm guessing not very well. Depends how limited it is. I don't think Texas Tech could win the national title. Is Javier Malay any good? Well, he certainly brought crime down significantly. Or no, that's El Salvador. He brought inflation down significantly. But I haven't, he had that scam coin, and then I can't believe they actually did that. That was really bad that they did that. But you said Indiana would beat Ohio, and you said no chance. Well, I mean, it was only a 4 point spread. I don't know why Tucker Carlson is buying a house in Qatar. It's a bit strange. It's a weird thing. But I don't know. These people are like fucking rich as hell. Dude's buying a house in Qatar. Have you been keeping up with the Michael Jordan versus NASCAR lawsuit? No, I haven't. Yeah, I don't know why he would buy a house in Qatar. I mean, that's just gonna fuel the more all the people that think Qatar has bought people. It's just gonna fuel that speculation even more.
It's the most toxic political culture, and it's not helping the American
But you
people.
contributed to that. You were out there pounding, insulting people.
Leslie, you've contributed to it as well with your own
Me?
program. Yes, you're accusatory, just like you did just then.
I know you're accusing me, but I'm smiling.
You're accusing me.
I am accusing
But we
you.
don't have to accuse one another.
I want you to respond to what you have done in terms of insulting people, yelling at people, and then saying,
I'd like for you to respond for that.
I don't-
No, you can respond
I
to that.
don't insult people.
You do, in the way you question, and you're accusing me right now. It's the most toxic.
It's a cat fight, but it's all the passive aggressiveness between these two women. Boomer slop. Well, it is 60 minutes. MTG is goofy looking. Yeah, she always came across as masculine to me. There's some people in the chat that were simping for her pretty heavily. I don't know if they're here tonight, but both of them have 15 face surgeries between the two. Yeah, MTG is going to go on a lot of these podcasts and say she's had some type of awakening. She's no longer MAGA. She thinks Trump is divisive. That's basically it. There'd probably be some pushback, like this woman who says, oh, you contributed to it. You're part of the problem. She's having like a redemption tour or something. Seek of the Way, what's up? What up, man? She has a sharper jawline than me. Doubtful. She's not going to run in the DNC. It's not going to run. I don't think she's going to do anything now, based off of the stuff that I heard. I don't think Trump ever sent her violence. I think he just said that he got mad that she would, was disloyal to him. Yeah, we got some snow. It's been more so really cold. It's very cold. Normally it gets above like 40 degrees this time of year. It hasn't. It's been in like the mid 20s for like the past few days, and the next week it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be in like the mid 20s. Dude, the Browns game was so close to getting like a massive band of snow dumped on it, but it just never hit Cleveland correctly. Like there's been lake effect all day coming across Lake Erie. Did you put on winter tires yet? I want to get new tires. I'm just going to straight up get new tires. I have slow leaks on both my tires that have been plugged, and now they're slowly leaking again. So my air pressure goes down during the winter every year. I might just get brand new tires. Good snow tires. Winters in the Midwest are no joke. It depends. We did have a few very, very mild winters. Last year we got hit hard. The previous 2 or 3 years it was very mild. And then this year it seems like it's gonna be cold. Why do the Browns always suck? Well, I mean, they were good for a few years with Baker Mayfield. But I mean, I think they're going to be good as again. They've got a lot of pieces. They just need a quarterback and a receiver. That's basically it. You have to take creatine. I've been taking. I've been medicating with some stuff to try and help my performance, my brain functionality, things like that. Did you buy a new car? No, I haven't bought a new car. I still have the same Chevy because I don't know, man. It's gonna cost like $50,000. I don't want. I don't want to pay that at this point. It's just not reasonable. Or you put a down payment on it, then I have a monthly payment. I don't want to do that. Thoughts on the Deshaun Watson practice window opening up? Um, they have to do it because he's getting paid so much money. They have to act like he's going to play. It's a joke. They're not going to play him at all. This is just a charade because the contract is so hard. The guy's getting paid like $50 million. He's healthy, but they don't want to play him. So what do? Well, you have to have this charade where it's like, oh, now he's practicing and he's coming back. I'm gonna have to. No, I'm not back into the gym. I was back into the gym for a few days. I don't know who's gonna win between Miami and Texas A&M. It should be a good game. Get out of your shit coins. You're burning your net worth. Just compound into the S&P, bro. 20% ain't nothing. What do you mean 20% growth? You don't get 20% growth from the S&P every year. Pepe, what's up, man? Sorry about the stream. Yeah, it's all right. I constantly have these Wi-Fi problems. It's not wired. It takes up so much bandwidth or something. I mean, it's fairly obvious what happens, and if it has to be wired for it to be perfect connection. How does BYU drop out but Bama doesn't move? Well, because Bama had a much stronger resume than BYU. That's why. BYU doesn't have a strong resume. They don't have good analytical numbers. So they had less of a margin of error. Favorite video games of all time? Black Ops 1. Can you play BO2 in the next life update? No, I don't even have BO2. I don't even have BO2 to play it. I played BO1 Zombies or World War 2, basically. What else could I play? Flight Simulator. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I think with crypto, you just you set aside an amount that you can afford to lose, and then. But the thing is I actually do need to get a financial advisor, like seriously, because I'm sitting on money. Thoughts on the potential Netflix deal? The Obamas getting involved with Netflix would not be good for our culture. Yeah, that would not. I mean, I don't know about that deal, but Netflix is massive. Netflix is they destroyed the DVD world. Blockbuster. You've been telling me to get a financial advisor, you just don't do it. Dude, everybody says to people get financial advisors. I can't get one right now. I'll have to get one in a little bit. Amy Acton sucks. Well, we'll have to see what happens with her and Ramaswamy. I think Ramaswamy will win still. I know there's a lot of people dooming on that. There's a lot of people on the right that hate Vivek because of the backhanded comments he's made.
Young people are respecting us again, too. I won the young vote. The Republicans never win the young vote. I won it easily. And I want to thank Charlie, and I want to thank TikTok, and there are a lot of reasons for it. But there's never been a Republican who won the young vote, and I won the very young vote. So that's a good sign. Thank
Mr.
you.
President.
Young people are respected.
So where are they at? Kennedy Center honors. Vivek basically disowned white Americans. How else could people react? Yeah, it depends how you take it, honestly. But what he said was not good. Yeah, there's no way Ryan Day is getting fired after that. That's a joke. If Ohio State loses in the first round, Ryan Day's not going to get fired. But I mean, that team, Ohio State, that was not a good coach game, I'll be honest. You see no problem with teams rejecting a bowl game, especially if they lose their coach like Iowa State. Yeah, these bowls are just getting, this is what this is going to create is this going to expand the playoff. Now a lot of these other bowls are starting to get watered down to the point to where they don't matter. So then the playoff is going to be expanded even more. If Notre Dame wants more money, they would join the Big Ten. If they want a more realistic, easier path to the playoff, they would join the ACC. They're already in the ACC for a lot of the sports, like college basketball, and they play about 5 ACC games a year. They have a contract with the ACC. So if they want to make it easy, they would join the ACC. The ACC, I'm sure, would love to have them. The ACC TV deal is terrible, though. So something would have to be renegotiated with Notre Dame separately for them to realistically do that, I feel like. The beer dye? Yeah, he does dye his beer, really. You think Matt Walsh does as well? Yeah, I wonder how old Matt Walsh is. That's a good point. I never thought about that. No, that would not be the biggest upset in the history of sports, James Madison beating Oregon. No, but they're not going to win. The ACC really advocated hard against Notre Dame for a while. You feel Notre Dame tanked their end of the partnership. But why would the ACC not want Notre Dame? It would only elevate their conference. Their conference needs to be elevated. It's kind of a joke with how bad Clemson and Florida State have been. Jaden, thank you for the 99 cents. Do you have a public email? Yeah, my email is in the there is an email within my channel. If you have to go to like the about section on my channel, I think, then my email is there. It says like business email or something. I think that's how YouTube has it. Because people do email me every now and then, and that's how that has to be how they get it. No, I'm Celtic. Just heard Utah is going to redistrict. Oh my goodness. I think they're redistricting one less Republican seat. Matt Walsh is only 39. We'll be watching Nick Fuentes' interview with Piers Morgan tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the clips will be all over. Apparently, Piers Morgan is going to try and he's going to try and go after him a little bit. We'll see. My bracket prediction video will be tomorrow. Yeah, my bracket prediction will be tomorrow. The entire bracket. The entire bracket will be tomorrow. And then I might do the first round games more in depth. I don't know yet. I'll have to see. Do you think the Joe Biden speech, he couldn't even say United States of America? Yeah, that was hilarious. There's no way he'd be able to be president right now. You see Biden, his state has deteriorated to the point where he can barely walk. He's like an ornament walking around. They have to like bubble wrap him because of how bad it is, the deterioration with Biden trying to walk around. They really thought he was going to be president at this point. There's just no way. Did you buy any crypto on the dip recently? No, I haven't. I haven't bought any more. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't even know where we're at in the cycle. There any updates about Tyler Robinson and when the court stuff? I don't know any updates. I think he has an appearance. The problem is, dude, the update that I know is there's no cameras. There's no recording. It's terrible. So even if there is an update in terms of a court procedure, we're probably not going to get anything real. Long winter accumulation period would not go into alts. Yeah, that's the concern. It's like uncharted territory. I mean, what the fuck is Ethereum doing, man? How come they never said anything about the guy who tried to assassinate Trump? Well, it is Trump's administration. They should look into it. I know they've... Who was it that looked into it? Tucker Carlson looked into it, and it actually is like a complicated thing. It's always like... It's never straightforward with these things. There's always like 10 different things. And the kid was MAGA, then he wasn't, then he hated Trump. And you have to look up what Tucker Carlson did. He's the only one that really investigated it, like mainstream person. And that just happened like a month ago or 2 months ago. Thomas Crooks, I'm talking about. You sent me an email? Oh, goody. You sent me an email. Should I respond to it right now? No, I'll wait to respond to it until after. So apparently the police have been called to the Waltz house because a lineup of cars called him a retard. Dude, have you seen his home? Bro, I hope that's actually not it. Dude, his home is like a fucking 10,000 foot mansion or 10,000 square foot mansion. It's insane. And then they want to, virtue signal about this and like how they're middle class and how Trump is evil and rich and they live in that home. I mean, come on. That's so fucking crazy if that's actually their home. Clemson or Penn State. That's actually a funny bowl game. That's a good bowl game. I think probably Clemson. This is what the person was talking about, I guess.
Thank you.
What did you talk about with Prime Minister Carney and Mexican President Sheinbaum when you were here just a few days earlier?
Mexico and Canada, we met with the, as you know, I mean, it was pretty well, a lot of people were here, right here we met. And the Prime Minister of Canada, President of Mexico, and we spoke for a half hour. Very good, very productive. Talked mostly trade.
Will you restart negotiations with Canada?
Oh, look, I have a great relationship with Canada. They're very tough traders, but I have a very good relationship with the Prime Minister and with Canada.
And you had said you would halt those negotiations earlier after the tariff.
Well, I have halted them.
And so will you restart them?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the problem is Canada makes a lot of things that we don't need because we make them also. But we'll work it out. Look, Canada's a special place, and they really are good at ice hockey, aren't they? Mr. President, what is more difficult?
Kennedy Center.
How bad do you feel for the Notre Dame players? They kind of got played all year, being told they were in. Yeah, they're. That is pretty sad. They got to be pissed off, dude. It honestly looked like they were gonna make it. If you looked at the betting, they were like minus 1,000 to make the playoff yesterday. So it was quite the change. I don't know if Trump is going to the Army Navy. It's something that he would do. I don't know if he's done it before. I'm not sure if he's doing it next week. Yeah, next week is only the Army Navy game, but people want like the playoff to start next week, and I understand. I mean, with the momentum, you want to keep the momentum of football season going instead of having a break like this. So are you computer or committee with college football playoff? I don't know. It depends what computer it is, but you need nuance, man. You do. I understand the computer in some aspects may be better, but you don't have the added real nuance that the committee can bring. But people are going to be pissed because it's humans and. Iowa or Vandy, you'd have to go Vanderbilt on that. The portal should be after the playoffs. 100%. The entire calendar is warped in college football. The entire calendar is a mess. There's like 10 things wrong with it that they'd have to fix. They have to restructure. They just have poor leadership. Carnivore diet seems like it'd be a problem for digestion. I've had people say that it's an issue when they go on the carnivore diet. I don't know. It depends your digestive system. I would say I've never done the carnivore diet. The only thing I've done is I fasted one time for 5 days, and really it was all right, I guess. But I haven't really done anything crazy. I don't intermittent fast either. They need to get rid of week 0. That's dumb. Just start the season then. Well, then you'd move it up even further. Yeah, I mean, if you start the season week 0, I guess. But ideally, it's just losing the momentum of having this next week off. I think is the problem. Eat mostly eggs, cheese, meat, fish, but still have fiber from fruits and some vegetables. Do you still have midday salads? No, I don't. I'll tell you, there's people that ask me that. I that's some nice lore. I appreciate that. Half of your family is vegetarian. Yeah, there's a lot of people that get caught up in that type of stuff. And it never really happened to me. I don't think I could give up that food. But there's a lot of people that do. The live stream was promised to me 3,000. Bro, it's just constant with that joke on everything. When was the last time you worked out? In September. I worked out in September once. It's really muscle memory, and I've actually kept a lot of the gains that I got. This is the thing is I worked out 2 straight years. Like legitimately, I worked out from 2021 to 2023, 2 straight years. So I've already got a built up. I've got like built shoulders and stuff, and so you know. But yeah, if I kept working out, I'd probably be in better. The problem is, man, you have to commit to bulking, which I didn't want to commit to bulking, so that's why I kind of stopped working out. But I had my physical, and I'm in pretty good shape. 1 rep max overhead press. Um, I don't know. It may like is that a shoulder exercise? Why aren't you on the floor? Dude, it's come on. It's like, what's the issue if you're on the floor or not? I still don't understand the problem. I don't understand the problem with people saying, asking me if I'm on the floor. People had such an issue with me being on the floor. Where else am I going to do it? You know, I did it in my bed, and then they said that's a problem. Then I did it on the floor. It's a problem. It's a problem no matter where you do these streams. Bulking should be easy. Just eat. Well, that's the issue is you eat and then your face bloats and you know, it's like you have to get through. It's a journey. That's the problem. It's a journey. It takes many months. You found home gyms don't work for you? Home gyms, it's hard to get motivated. Home gyms are also normally very small, so you can't really walk around much. Yeah, it depends on the person. Home gyms are very convenient though, especially if you're dealing with like snow and stuff like that. Bulk is easy, cut is hard. Yeah, well, you got to do cardio. Oh, you got to do cardio when you're cutting. You haven't had a physical in 3 years. That's like me and the fucking dentist. But I have a physical. I mean, you should have a physical once a year. It would be so cool if we could all meet up. Yeah, I don't think that would go well. 250, 300 grams of protein. Well, that seems like a bit much. That's not 200. You're gonna have digestion problems if you eat that much. If I weigh like 155 and I'm eating 300 grams of protein, I'm gonna have digestive issues. That's once it gets to a certain point, there's a law of diminishing returns with protein. Dude, the made up like this is. Do you ever meet fans just random in public? Uh, not really. I really haven't run into too many fans. Maybe it'd be it'd be an awkward situation. Take on the new Penn State coach. It was kind of it feels like Matt Campbell's time as like a top coach has kind of passed him by. I don't know. We'll see. Too much protein gives you the ick. Yeah, women should not. Yeah, women should don't have to eat protein. But protein is a good base for men. It should be like 1 pound, 1 gram per pound of body weight if you're trying to bulk. Birthright citizenship. Apparently, it's going to be challenged by the Supreme Court. I hope they rule correctly on that because there is a clear precedent on history. It's been manipulated. It was never meant for anchor babies. That's not. They're manipulating the 14th Amendment and they're using a loophole to circumvent and actually create just cohorts of immigrant families through the birthright citizenship. They really need to vet that out, and that's really not why the 14th Amendment was put into place if you go back and you look at it, because I've done research on that, and it's really to make sure slaves had rights, and they didn't put the 14th Amendment in place and say, hey, let's just allow for all the anchor babies. That's not why it was put in place. It's being manipulated, and it's being abused. And so when it's being abused, you have to properly rule it. I used to eat a lot of eggs. I like scrambled eggs. I do like scrambled eggs with ketchup. Haven't had that dish in a while. Scrambled eggs are good at restaurants, breakfast places. But there's all, now we've got these trendy breakfast places around and they're kind of overrated. These trendy breakfast places, they overcharge, and it's just like a bunch of like, it's like millennial slobbery. It's millennial slop. You go to like a trendy breakfast place, it'll be millennial slop. But I like breakfast places sometimes. I do like a chocolate milk. Your town of 5,000 something got an IHOP. Yeah, we don't even have an I don't have an IHOP near me. It's kind of interesting how they never put one up because we've got a lot of shit, but not an IHOP. 14th Amendment was for freed slaves. No, that's what you try and explain to these people. You have to contextualize the 14th Amendment. It's called abuse. It's amendment abuse is what it is. They're abusing the amendment and using it for something it wasn't intended for. This is known contextually, and it has to be rephrased, reinterpreted. Whatever happened to your cousin that had the motivational weightlifting challenge? Yeah. No, yeah, he's an interesting character. I'll say that much about him. He's an interesting character, but I'm not gonna bring in family affairs. Thoughts on tourism, birthism too? The Chinese use that one the most. I think any manipulation, the birthright stuff is bad. Tourism and whatever it is, it all has to be looked through. It all has to be vetted. And this is what Trump should say about any of the third world immigration. Listen, the point, like the United States, why doesn't Trump just give everyone perspective? Like these people, they have this weird viewpoint that the United States must accept all these immigrants because we were really racist or something. The United States has accepted more immigrants than any country in the last 70 years by like 40 million. So why is there this obsession with immigration? We've accepted too many already. And we know that because we compare it to other countries. We've accepted more than other countries. We've accepted enough immigrants. There's enough immigrants. The middle class is just getting destroyed. Then they just blame late stage capitalism. Well, listen, there's problems with capitalism, but when you bring in all these immigrants, it suppresses wages. It actually artificially suppresses wages because you're gaining population through unethical means, through the mass immigration, and that's a capitalist dream. You bring in a bunch of people. But Trump should just say, listen, we've brought in way more people. We have the highest illegal immigration population out of anyone. What do you want us to do? We're trying to deport them. We have a higher illegal immigrant population than any other country. Capitalism, yeah, no, 100%, 100%. That's the weird thing with these liberals. They say they're socialists and they love immigration. It doesn't make any sense. They don't even know what they're talking about. They love the exploitation of laborers. That doesn't make any sense. Thoughts on marrying a legal girl if she's 10 of 10 Treadway? I mean, come on, man. Hoflation, dude, hoflation is really bad. I'd be honest. You see some of these things are mind blowing. You see some of the stuff I see on social media about hoflation. Whew. You've been saying how we need to stop all immigration, legal or illegal. No, I agree 100%. It's just not, the country has just gotten to a point to where I think it's just all slop. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to stop all immigration, deport a bunch of people? You know how angry capitalists are going to be if that happened? What's hoflation? Hoflation really has to do with like dating apps. It's women getting a bunch of likes on dating apps thinking they can attract more high quality men. And so it's this massive cohort of women going for the same 5 to 10% of men. And some of the men, because they're horny, they'll sleep with them, and so they think they can get them constantly. Well, dude, I just saw one photo. I mean, dude, these women, they'll get like, I mean, it's insane. It's insane. You see, they get like 500 likes on these dating apps. Be just like a normal average girl. We should just have European immigration, but they're even more liberal compared to us. And maybe Eastern European. Yeah, but I don't even know, man. If we even had European immigration, I don't really think it would do anything for like, I don't know if it'd make the country more liberal. I think you'd have to just shut it down and see where you're at. But again, it's like, would that even be allowed under this capitalist principle? You want to gain GDP, you have to have the population increase. If you want to meet your wife, join volunteering. Yeah, you do have to think of abstract things. I agree with that 100%. You have to think of abstract things, and you do have to put yourself out there. It's far better than whatever the dating apps are. How is Australia turned brown so fast? I don't know their situation. Probably just mass immigration. Just mass immigration. The thing is, look at Canada. Canada's got a much lower population than us, and their major cities are already completely minority majority because they have a small population, so it affects them even more than the United States because we've got a much bigger population. You're looking at the idea of 3 months sailing on a cruise ship from port to port with a little bit of luggage. I've actually heard people that do that. People they just live on cruise ships. Well, cruise ships are the cruises are not that expensive. It depends what cruise line you use. I've never been on a cruise. The men should stop simping for foreign women if they care about demographics so much. No, dude, it's not even like that. It's really not. There's really not the race mixing within the whites. It doesn't happen at a high rate. Meeting a girl in person is always better. You have the advantage nowadays since nobody does that anymore. Oh, you have a massive advantage. Well, meeting in person, this is what I would say to guys. I would say it takes a lot more courage, 100%, than a dating app because, there's a high chance of probably getting rejected, but there's also an infinitely higher chance you'll get, you'll be able to secure something, you'll get her number or something because if you think about it, you know, on the apps, it's any relatively decent, even like mid white girl is probably getting like 50 matches or 50 likes. You're gonna compete against like 50 dudes. It's just a joke. It's not worth it. So you're better off just trying to do it in person somehow. That's what I think. Political gender divide is also an issue. 70% of women are liberal. It's more of a that's dependent, I think, more on the state that you live, the city that you live. But yeah, no, you are right. There is a political divide for sure, and a lot of that is, you know, women now going to college, being more educated, being more feminist, 21st century. No, I don't watch. I don't watch Formula One. Yeah, meeting. I would not recommend meeting girls at bars. That probably is not going to turn out well in a relationship. Period. Cycle betting. WNBA. Goddamn. I never heard of that. Yeah, I did see the interview that Tucker did with the prime minister, and he said he's going to buy a house in Qatar. Yeah, the other thing with the apps you got to be careful is the editing. You see a lot of the editing, a lot of angles, funny angles are done by women. Notre Dame thoughts. My thoughts on Notre Dame pulling out a bowl season. I think it's unfortunate. It just shows you where the bowls are at this point. Nobody cares about them. If it's not the playoff, people don't care, at least to a high degree. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that Facebook thing. Yeah, 100%. It's a dead giveaway. In my experience, even really liberal girls will change their politics if they like you. Yeah, that tends to be what happens, but it does seem like that's it depends. It depends how liberal they are, I feel like. You are right. Normally the man's politics will win out, but again, it's dependent on the personality type. It depends how extremely liberal the girl is, because some of them now are so liberal to where they seriously are like, you know, a lot of these with Trump, a lot of politics is so much more important to these younger people. You even, dude, now I see so many political references in sports, and it's honestly annoying. Because, like, I'll look at college football and just the other sports on Twitter and stuff, but it's filled with political references. It's like it's intertwined now. It didn't used to be like that. It's like so mainstream in everything politics is. Probably because of Trump, but all liberal girls are tatted and pierced. Yeah, more of them definitely are. Not all of them, but more of them. All right, well, let me find that clip.
War Department will not be distracted by democracy building, interventionism, undefined wars, regime change, climate change, woke moralizing. and feckless nation building. We will instead put our nation's practical, concrete interests first. We will deter war. We will advance our interests. We will defend our people. Peace is our goal. And in service of that objective, we will always be ready to fight and win decisively if called upon.
Shedeur Sanders had a good game. He had a really good game, I'll be honest. I mean, it was against a bad team, but... Do you think the Venezuela situation will ever spiral out of control into a Vietnam? No, it's not going to be a Vietnam. It's completely different. They're not going to have troops in Venezuela at all. Trump doesn't do that. He will instigate a situation, but he's not going to go that far. But he knows it'd be so unpopular. "28% of Gen Z were aborted." Thoughts? Well, I think abortion is an evil thing that a healthy society should not partake in. Yeah, this woman got a bunch of money. Good evening, sir. Good evening. This is like the woman at the playground. The woman at the playground. Venezuela will be a civil war. It'd have to be a civil war because we're not going to send anyone. We'd have to instigate a civil war, but we're not going to send anyone. Dude, Mike Lindell, in all seriousness, there's no way Mike Lindell is going to win anything. Like, let's be honest, unless it's a really Republican district. I don't know, is he running for governor? Mike Lindell ain't. Maybe if he gives away free pillows, he might have a chance. Yeah, I mean, Shedeur is he is talented. I mean, we'll see him. He'll have to play well again. I mean, because they're going to have a top pick. They're probably going to draft a quarterback, the Browns, unless he plays really well the final 4 weeks. Mike Lindell cannot win a state. Like, there's just no chance. Yeah, I'm surprised they flipped Miami and Notre Dame as well. You think it was public pressure? I do think there'd be a lot of people that would be like, "This is insane." If you put Notre Dame right ahead of Miami and then they have the head-to-head, but people would just say, "Well, what's the point of even playing games?" Basically, is what they'd say. But I mean, you got to make a decision. I never got in My Pillow before. I don't know the quality of it. There is really bad Somali fraud, and even liberals are admitting it. The entire thing they set up during the pandemic was fraudulent, and they're shoveling money back home. It's nothing to brag about. Better than store pillow, but not worth the hype. The My Pillows. I like stiffer pillows. I like the pillow where. See, the thing is, when it's like this, I can't do it. It's got to be like when you push your head down, it goes like really slow. You should branch out and do a dating advice live stream. I don't think that's necessary. I mean, what would that even? That's not really my content forte. But I mean, these live streams are really about anything, so it can be dating advice or whatever. But I sleep on my back every night. Very rarely. I can't sleep on my stomach. Side, I really never sleep on my side, I don't think. Or at least I always start sleeping on my back. Maybe I move during the night. Yeah, I don't know how people sleep on their stomach. That'd be a challenge. I feel like it would hurt my lungs. I feel like it hurt my lungs doing it. Yeah, I'll do the bowl game predictions. Not all the bowl games though. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the playoff. You should start a Predator Catcher sports stream. What the fuck does that even mean? What? Dude, that's just a weird troll. Bros just throwing things together. Start a gaming stream. That's bruh. You know how hard it is to like. People think you can just branch into genres, and it's not that easy. Yeah, I don't really. People always say they dream things, the precognition. The only thing I have is pretty significant deja vu over random things. I will have serious deja vu. That's kind of my thing. Where because people always say I had this dream and then it happened. I do have deja vu on really random, like detailed, like just weird details on certain things as they happen. But no, I don't really dream the future. I never had a situation like that. Dude, the Pred Catcher video with the Asian. Have you guys seen the Pred Catcher video with the Asian? And he runs outside and then crashes his car. That's the funniest one. And I couldn't find that on YouTube. I was looking for that, dude, because I wanted to watch it again. It's like they took it off YouTube. There were only reaction videos to it. Heading to Vietnam in a couple days. You're being deployed. GG. Heading to Venezuela in a few days, being deployed. G. Oh no. Best Asian country to tear it up as a passport, bro. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend being a passport, bro. But what do I know? I mean, it's fucking. It is brutal. Is dreaming of the future even real? A lot of people say it happens to them. I mean, the amount of people that say it happens to them, so there might be something there, but I don't know. You can't really prove it. Well, the race mixing is just a product of a country that, you know, you bring in more immigrants, the demographics change, there's going to be more of that. What bowl games are you excited for? I don't know. I mean, there's really not a lot of good bowl games outside of the New Year Six. Thoughts on 6-7 coin? Dude, I'm in the 2020, I'm in the coin 2026-7. That's the coin I'm in. I think it's at like 50K market cap, maybe 70K on Solana. Take a gander at that one. Take a little look-see at that. You think college football should just get rid of bowl games and expand the playoff? No, bowl games are serious revenue. Bowl games are still revenue. I mean, at a certain point, if teams keep opting out, it's going to be a problem. Did you see Purdue lost this weekend? I did see Purdue lost. Yeah, the 6-7 coin, it doesn't surprise me that it did very well. It's such a huge meme. I don't think Indiana's going to get knocked out in the first game. They're probably going to face Alabama. I mean, Alabama could beat them. They're more talented, but I don't know. Alabama's been they've been so flawed this year. Dude, what was that spread? I was shocked that spread even exists. 47.5. I saw that spread. I can't believe North Florida's that bad. 47.5. That's like a women's college basketball spread. What are your thoughts on a traditional 4-year cycle on BTC versus broader monetary cycle aligning with economy more? Well, I think the 4-year cycle, it's hard to justify it right now, especially for the altcoins. For Bitcoin, I mean, yeah, Bitcoin's probably done with a 4-year cycle because of the amount of investment there is. There's a lot of big money in Bitcoin now with the ETFs, so it's kind of warped the 4-year cycle. There's been other variables that have changed it. Fundamentally, they've changed it. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means there's not going to be a 4-year cycle anymore, but and Michigan basketball is a powerhouse. Now they're not going to go undefeated. You don't go undefeated in college basketball. Have you finally decided to invest into BTC? Not BTC, no. I think asking Oklahoma to beat Bama 3 times in 2 years, I think that's a tough ask. That's a really tough ask. Thoughts on Candace, Turning Point USA drama? Candace and Ian Carroll think Israel was involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, but Fuentes and Crowder don't. You can be skeptical with FBI, but Israel didn't do it. Dude, they're ruining their credibility. They really are. I can kind of understand the Candace angle because the viewership is insane, but Ian Carroll, it's just like, but Ian Carroll needs to have the self-awareness to know that if you start believing a lot of these conspiracies that are very likely or very easily proven to be false, you're going to lose your credibility. Candace Owens, I can kind of see more because the viewership is so insane. I mean, Candace is creating a storyline within a storyline within a storyline within. It's like the Kirkiverse, the Charlie Kirk verse. Just it's like this. It's like it orbits itself. There's just like all these different things, and then she shares a new detail, and there's this. She's like creating her own fictional storyline, and every week it's something. It's like a different, trap door. So, and it's all a viewership thing. I'm not sure who that is, and I know you're a troll. I mean, look at your name. Your name is Jizz. Yeah, Mendoza should win the Heisman. I'll give Mendoza credit. I mean, I think it's a weak year for the Heisman, but he should win it. He had a good second half. I mean, they only scored 13 points, but do you go peanut butter, more jelly, 50-50? No, I don't eat jelly at all. I just eat peanut butter sandwiches when I used to have that. Love you from Fort Lauderdale. I appreciate that. What a nice comment. No jelly. I'm never a big fan of jelly. I don't know why. Do you think Fuentes wants to be Candace, or do you think he's just joking? It's a long joke of his. Creamy or crunchy? Creamy. Honestly, glad you found my channel around the election cycle. These streams are fun. That's a lot. That's a common story. The election boost. It's a legendary. The election boost. Do you eat bread? I eat buns with sandwiches. Yeah, I have bread sometimes. Yeah, but yeah. You know what? Bread is actually very good at restaurants. If you go to a high-end, sophisticated restaurant, they bring out bread and have some bread and butter. Texas Roadhouse bread. I think I've had their store-bought version. Yeah, I've had their store-bought version of garlic bread, I think. You like peanut butter and honey sandwich? I never had a honey sandwich. Dude, that seems way too sweet. It seems really dry as well. Thoughts on H bar? I mean, it's fine. I actually used to have Hedera. I broke your heart. Dude, you're a wacko, man. You're an interesting individual. There's interesting creatures on the internet, I'll say that. There really are. I mean, think about it. Peanut butter is actually that shit's like unhealthy for you. You constantly have peanut butter sandwiches. I don't think that's healthy. The Uncrustables are good, but even that is just like it's like one bite and you're done. The really good thing with those it's not even the peanut butter Uncrustables, it's the chocolate one. The chocolate Uncrustables. You know, I was actually started eating chocolate Uncrustables. This was probably like 7 or 8 months ago. Dude, I was getting like pimples. And I was like, okay, this is like spiking something and it's causing me to get acne. I got to stop eating this. This is not good. Like, that's when you know it's bad. You have like a reaction to it. You like the beard? I'll try and hold out. I'll try and hold it out and I don't know why I started shaving so much. I think I like the clean shaven feel, but I think I look probably better with the beard, but it's not either way, it doesn't really I think it's similar either way. Do you have any new stadium videos planned? I have this Brown stadium update that I might upload. I've never been to a Buc-ee's. That's like a big place out here. I've never been to one. But they're off the highways and stuff. They're kind of hard to get to. We don't have one near us, I don't think. I was your second most viewed channel in 2025, only behind Queso. YouTube Wrapped. That's nice. I appreciate the support. You want to order Domino's? I never really have Domino's pizza. I'd say I'm a Sheets per. We only have Sheets near us, anyways. We have three Sheets within an area. Yeah, I don't know. People keep saying they have YouTube Wrapped. I don't know. Do you believe in dual citizenship? I definitely not in terms of not in terms of political leadership. There's got to be no dual citizenship in political leadership. You got to pick one. Sheets was your first real job? Yeah, they're putting Sheets up like crazy in my area. And it's nicer than going to just a standard. You know, the problem with gas stations, they're so congested when you go inside of them. Sheets, it's a bigger interior. How sweet is it to be a YouTuber and have no overhead costs outside of your internet bills like everyone else? Yeah, I don't know about that. I never really dealt with that type of stuff. The only cost I have is like equipment, buying computers and stuff. Internet bill. I mean, I already use the internet anyways, whether I'm on YouTube or not. Let's be real. What's going to happen to our country once we go to social credit score digital currency? Well, yeah, it's coming. It's because they want, it's part of the evolution, unfortunately, and it's really bad. I agree, but they'll say it's for safety. They say it's for safety. We have to do this, so it'll be resisted, and I don't know. I don't know how much will be implemented because we have guns, so I don't know how much they'll be able to implement. They probably need some type of event to happen. DG coin. Not going to be happening. I'm not going to be launching it. No. I don't know. We'll have to see with JD Vance. I think the jury's still out on JD Vance. We'll have to see. JD Vance is a very young politician. And he was never Trump, and he's kind of like a beta, but You ever work a job besides YouTube? Yeah, I worked several jobs besides YouTube. I worked at a growery. I worked at a convenience store. I worked 3 days as a UPS package helper. Are you a White Monster guy? Dude, I'd actually like to get. I'd like to start having White Monster again. You're right; it is bad for you. Yeah, that is the ultimate suppressant. You know, for Gen Z, they always talk about it. It's the appetite suppressant is the White Monster. I used to drink that 4 or 5 years ago. I always used to have that. But you know, it's a problem with me and caffeine. I don't know if I could do the monsters anymore. Dude, I remember having a monster like an actual monster. It's like fucking 300 calories. When I was at a ski, like my local ski resort. It's not even a resort, but whatever. Because it's so small. Dude, I was like hopped up to crazy. Like Monster has ridiculous amount of sugar. Oh my God. Is it true there's a DG pack being formed to fund foreign aid to Ireland? Well, you've been donating to it. You've been a nice donor. I'm gonna have to send you a thank you packet or something. I'll send you a thank you email for doing that. People have died from Monster energy drinks. Dude, Monster, if you have the actual stuff. Now, all the Gen Z kids, they have the 10-calorie version, which is just artificial. I mean, I agree. If you actually drink the real shit, oh, you're just shoveling sugar into your mouth. When you drink the real Monster, this was when I was younger, but you can feel the tooth erosion. You can feel it. It's really bad. I wouldn't recommend there. I mean, even the 10 calorie it's an appetite suppressant. Hot Cheetos, dude, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I used to eat those. Those are they're an experience, and they're a dude. When you have Flamin' Hot Cheetos, you got to commit to that. Your hands get so fucked up with all that. It's like a whole thing. It's too much of a commitment with the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. They are good, but it's like they hurt at the same time. I mean, they are good, but I don't eat Flamin' Hot Cheetos anymore. The American diet is so messed up. Yeah, look at our obesity rate. It's really bad. I mean, obviously. Takis. Now, I like Flaming Hot Cheetos better, but I barely had it. Those. I never really had them much. You have to keep eating them fast to numb the pain. The Flaming Hot Cheetos, yeah, that's true. You drink water, it makes it worse. That's typically how it is with the when you deal with things that are hot. You drink water, it just makes it worse after like 1 second. Because nobody knows how to cook and just eats trash. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I do eat out quite often. Demographics in my area, about 75% Caucasian. I actually don't know, but you know, something like that. Are you too biased to give Mendoza a platform? Dude, I'm seething. I am seething that Fernando Mendoza won. How is Fernando Mendoza going to win the... I'm just kidding. You ever try those Takis Dragon Sweet Chili? No, I never had that. They're really hard to eat. They crunch. They're really stiff. What happened with Tim Walz? He got evicted from his mansion. His mansion has been turned into a Somali refugee camp after much debate. Now they're bringing in more Somalians, and now they have the affordable housing to do it with all the mansions. Yeah, those things are really stiff, the Takis. That's when I started eating those, I was like, I didn't expect this type of coarseness to this indulgement. How many wisdom teeth do you have? I got my wisdom teeth taken out when I was like 16, 15. Trade Minnesota for Alberta. Yeah, no, you can't really do it. It would fuck up the map. It would fuck up the map really bad. I would like to bring Alberta. Well, dude, at this point, it's such a messed up situation. I've been thinking a lot about the future of the United States, and it's like people keep thinking like, I don't know. I don't think it really gets turned around in any meaningful way at all. Thoughts on kids calling people chopped? It's just Gen Z slang, basically. You ever tried the purple or green colored ketchup when they had it? Do you remember that? No, I was too young. I don't remember that. You live in the whitest big city, according to Google. Colorado Springs. Thoughts on Red 40 and Blue 10 being American national foods? I'll give you a story. I woke up probably at about 6 a.m., 5:30 in the morning, dying of thirst on Saturday morning. So yesterday morning, dude, I was like just chugging. We like this apple cider. It's like barely. Maybe it's expired. I was just chugging it. You know when you wake up dying of thirst? I wanted Hawaiian Punch so bad, dude. I wanted Hawaiian Punch so bad when I woke up dying of thirst. I don't, we haven't had Hawaiian Punch. I haven't had Hawaiian Punch here for a while, but I had to chug apple cider. That happens sometimes where you wake up and you just like, oh, it's like an aggressive thirst. You can't have a White Monster when you do this. You're gonna have caffeine. It's like 5 a.m. I'm not gonna drink that. White Monster, that should be a meme coin. Yeah, apple cider is really good. I mean, it's calorically dense, but it tastes good. I mean, but apple cider, it is a seasonal beverage. It's a seasonal drink. That's how you were this morning. Yeah, it happens. It's kind of a good feeling when you start drinking something. It's almost like it doesn't even feel good though when you start hydrating because it's hard to explain. When you wake up that thirsty, you have like this aggressive thirst and then you cleanse it, but because I was drinking a bunch of apple cider, then I switched to water and it's just weird. Hawaiian Punch and Uncrustables you eat like a child. Well, I really never ate Uncrustables, to be fair, very often. I mean, that was like 1 week. I never really had I never really have it. Uncrustables are just not. They're just miniature. They're not really worth it. Pop Tart or toaster strudel? Pop Tart. I think Pop Tart. Well, I guess it depends the flavor of Pop Tart. There's a bunch of different flavors. Do you like Dr. Pepper Zero? Dr. Pepper used to be my favorite pop. I don't really drink a ton of Dr. Pepper anymore at all. You getting a new rig when you move out? Heard the prices of RAM are about to skyrocket soon. I wanted to get a new computer, yeah. One even upgraded over this. Will you undo more school story vids? I'd have to really think for school vid. I mean, I have some, dude. I do have some stories on a personal level, but it's just not. It's not something I'd be interested in sharing. I don't think it's good taste. But at school I'd have to think. Maybe there's a few, but I don't know. Dr. Pepper makes me feel weird. It's like a weird. I don't know. I don't really drink Dr. Pepper anymore. I drink Coke Zero most of the time. Most of the time I'll drink Coke Zero, not Dr. Pepper. But I know Coke Zero also has caffeine, but it's doesn't really affect me as much. A&M. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, A&M, they have to beat Miami, Ohio State. Yeah, A&M's pretty screwed. A&M lost one game and now they're screwed. Duke was crying about not getting in. Come on. They lost 5 games. Yeah, they were trying to say they should be in. They were trying to say they should be in. They're like, we won the conference, dude. You lost 5. You lost like 3 non-conference games alone. How are you gonna get in? You ever been to Jersey, New Jersey? I never been to New Jersey. I never been to New Jersey or New York City. Root beer of choice, please don't say mug. A&W, I would say. I used to like mug. I don't like mug anymore. Mug tastes like chemicals now. I've been to Chicago. Went to Chicago in 2015. Yeah, A&W is good. A&W doesn't even have caffeine. There's no caffeine in it. Feel like the committee is going to kill the ACC here. Have been getting disrespected pretty badly the last couple of years. I don't even know how there could be another realignment though. The conference is already too big. If you're saying the ACC is going to split, the ACC has a horrible TV deal. The conference is kind of it's inevitable to where there's going to be problems down the line with the ACC. When are you getting a DNA test? They're on sale now. Yeah, no, I need to do that. The problem is when I do it, it's like it takes 6 weeks. But yeah, I need to do that. You're gonna have dinner with any political commentator? Well, Alex Jones, baby. Yeah, but don't they they sell everything to the government? This and that. It's like don't put in your DNA, they're gonna sell it. Yeah, but how does that even affect me? You ever come to NYC? Keep your head on a swivel. Lots of crazy people doing unprovoked attacks. No, I hear you. It's really bad there, and I think it's as a guy it should be easier, but it's you got to be careful. You got to be careful in any highly densely populated liberal area. There's Did Marco Rubio and Trump press the committee to put Miami in? Ha, they actually did, dude. And so did DeSantis, bro. DeSantis is like obsessed with college football. How many times is DeSantis going to tweet about college football? It's kind of. I didn't know he loved it that much. Have you been to an actual drive-through place where you park your car and they bring you the food to your car? That's like Sonic. No, we don't really have that here. Root beer float or Coke float. The floats they just create massive bubbles. I think they're kind of overrated. I've seen a few ice cream trucks, not during this time of year. Would you be devastated if your son was 5'6"? I don't think that would happen. It's not likely. My son would probably be about 5'9", 5'10". I mean, it depends on the girl. Depends on the woman and her height to a degree, but even that, it's like a lot. Normally how it works, because I think my dad was like 5'10" and a half, maybe 5'11". My mom is maybe 5'1". I don't really like Marvel. I don't even know. I never really got into the Avengers personally. I think it's just too fake. It probably, if I watched it, it'd probably be fine. But there are certain movies I just haven't watched that like everyone talks about. Would you be mad if your son mocked you in height, like Trump, like Barron? Are you gonna stream tomorrow? If there's something going on, I'll stream. I mean, the streams have been more periodic just because I feel like if there's not a lot going on, it doesn't really elicit a stream. Nah, Rubio was not going to sue if Miami again. There's nothing to sue for. It's subjective rankings. You can't sue for anything. They can set whatever criteria they want to put teams in. You can't sue for that. More Epstein news. That would be the worst. That would make me not stream. It's just more Epstein stuff. Your dad is 5'10", your mom is 5'8", yet you're only 5'11", feel like you should be... No, yeah, you probably should be a bit taller than that if that's true. Yeah, on average, the person would probably be taller if your dad's 5'10", your mom's 5'8". But I don't know. I mean, there's variables to it. There's just like luck of the draw, honestly, with that type of stuff. Come and chat about random things, Legos or COD. Yeah, but then it's like, you know, you want something to be able to talk about so the viewership is there. Does Piers Morgan beat Fuentes in the debate tomorrow? Well, Piers Morgan needs to, because you know Fuentes is prepped for it. He's going to answer all the questions about his previous comments. We'll see if Piers has any depth to his questions. That's going to be the question. Because you can predict the questions that Piers is going to ask about him being anti-Semitic and stuff, and you can prep for that. But will he have any depth to the questions? Probably not, because he's like a boomer. Do you know if it's in person or not? Hopefully it's in person. I think Piers Morgan probably wants to do it in person. Yeah, I was baptized. How does WNBA girl? I only know like 3 or 4 WNBA women. I might only know Angel Reese, honestly. I'm not sure. No, it's like Sabrina something. Sabrina? Her last name starts with an I. Cameron Brink, yeah. But she's like tall. I mean, that's... Did you talk about the new photos from the Epstein home? I mean, I talked about it in the other stream. Paige Beckers, I think she's a lesbian. Dude, you keep asking what is the temple? I don't know what you're talking about, man. I really don't. Like, what compels you to type that constantly? You were asking if Ohio Stadium is the temple. Now you're just asking what is the temple. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, but you have to understand the BYU thing, dude. Joe Mama, the BYU. BYU did not have their resume. They just didn't. So they needed to win that game. You know, there's less margin for error for BYU because their resume was worse, basically. Could Ohio Stadium be the temple? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You think Ohio Stadium's gonna be the third temple? Ohio Stadium, the third temple. The location is not ideal. College football is the most poorly ran sport in the world. There's no real leadership. That's the problem. They don't have leadership, college football, because the NCAA is so weak with the NIL. The sport has not evolved into like accepting the modern role it has. So it's in this weird spot where they can't really like who even is making these decisions. There's no actual governing body. It's like it's all just based off of money and the TV deals and TV rights, and the NCAA is so powerless now. Like they've just lost all their power. They've lost their governance over the sport. Dude, Danny Cannell hates the SEC, that's for sure. Well, he's an ACC guy. He's FSU. Horse and buggy? That's Amish. No, we don't have any of that. Do I like Dragon Ball? I'm not even sure. I never watched Dragon Ball Z. How to Skirl in Politics Journalism. Katie Tur. Not Caitlin Collins. I don't know who the other people are. Katie Tur. Yeah, Katie Tur was hot when she did the interview with Trump in 2016. I think she's fallen off a little bit. I don't know. That's a challenge. If you asked me in 2016, 2017, I was a lot more tuned into that type of stuff. But I don't know, man. I'd have to think. It's probably a girl that does is not very known. Which states have Amish people? Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a heavy Amish population, I think. You ever seen a hot Amish girl? I really haven't seen the Amish in general. Ohio too. Ashtabula. Yeah, James Madison's been actually good the past few years in D1. Don't you have Amish in Ohio? Yeah, we do. I think there's more in Pennsylvania. They were just making a huge deal about the Amish voting for Trump in Pennsylvania. That's how I know. But there's a lot of rural areas in Ohio, dude. It doesn't take you don't have to travel far to get to a rural area. That's kind of like how it is in most places in the United States, though. A lot of it's rural. A lot of the country's rural. That's right. Kirk Signetti was at JMU. Now JMU and Indiana are both in the playoff. Well, he didn't take JMU to the playoff, but he helped to bring him up. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this live stream. It's been 2 hours. I appreciate everybody's comments and donations, and like the video, like the live stream. Like the live stream. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow. Maybe I'll react to the Piers Morgan thing with Nick Fuentes, but 2 hour limit. It's a 2 hour limit when there's not a lot going on. I would like to do a marathon stream, but we have to have something going on for it to happen. Ukrainian or Russian girl? Probably Ukrainian. All right, guys. I'll see ya.